All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for a couple of real people out there just like you and just like me. So, Ted Nugent says that he weeps for America. Wow. I'm going to get to that as Uncle Ted is always just not holding back. He's 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 not one to kind of rein in his rhetoric, and so he's got some interesting things to say. He's a guitar hero, so I figured I would promote this guy here. I've got two of his CDs. They were sent to me by Paris Records down in Texas. Great record label. You've got Torben Enevoldsen's debut album and then his album called Transition. This is just straight up guitar rock, no vocals. If you like Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, I think you'll really dig this guy, Torben. Torben also plays guitar on a number of different projects. And if you Google his name, you will find that he has been around the melodic rock world, most recently on the latest Pinnacle Point album. So, again, good rock and guitar. So, figured I would promote that because Uncle Ted is the topic of this video. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, everything is going the opposite direction. The last week or so, I've been really discouraged with the numbers coming in. Some of the videos I've been doing are doing pretty well, while others are just completely tanking. So there's no rhyme or reason to it. But if you'd like to support the channel, Patreon, there's also a Buy Me a Coffee link that you can copy and paste and get to the location that way. And also YouTube memberships, which are fairly easy to also sign up for. Now, Ted Nugent, when he gets in the news, it's typically not a mamby-pamby type comment. It's interesting the way the rock media covers Ted Nugent because he's such an outlier. Everybody else says basically the same thing, or they don't comment, or they take the side which is the safest side to take. And Ted Nugent, whether you like him or not, tends to take the side that is much more under assault when it comes to the regular, what we call mainstream media in this country. Now, the headline here reads from a site called Rock Celebrities. Ted Nugent, I weep for America. So after the State of the Union address the other day, Ted Nugent called President Biden a number of different things. He is the number one enemy of America and mankind. He's a canker sore on America. He went on to say Democrats are commies, that they're toxic, dishonest, delusional, embarrassing, dangerous, and soulless. Wow. The article then goes on to say that he supports anti-immigrant policies. Now, it's interesting how the media likes to frame things. When you say anti-immigrant, are you saying that you just don't like immigrants, or are you saying that you would like a secure southern border? Because those two things are very different. I may be 100% on board with bringing immigrants into this country, providing that they're not going to break the law, that they're going to be productive citizens. I know there is data out there that says that immigrants tend to be more productive than the people who are here, which is sad if true. But I think, when they say undocumented workers, I think we want documented people. I mean, if you're here, it's not like I want to be big brother to everybody, but we should probably know who you are. And yeah, maybe a background check is appropriate. You're coming into a new country. Most other countries, by the way, have very strict migration policies. This is what many people in our media tend to leave out. They will not talk about how America has a very lax immigration or migration policy compared to other countries in the world. And that's important. And this is why people are coming to America, because it's easier to get in to this country. Even if we toughened up our migrant policies, I do believe we would still be easier to get into than many other countries. So again, it says here, Nugent's comments followed his recent support for the trucker convoy in Texas, aiming to pressure Biden into addressing the migrant crisis. All right, here's a little truth bomb. Okay, so prior to Biden, okay, we had a different policy in place. When Biden came in, he did some executive orders. They're saying that you have to pass a bill or whatever. No, the president has power, right? He could take executive action right now to fix the problem, and then Congress could pass a bill and send it to him. And that would be a better solution, because it would put this into law where again, if migrants are coming over, there's a law in place. And if they were doing something that was against that law, obviously they would be lawbreakers. And I think the number of migrants would probably drop. It's pretty safe to say it would go down. The rock star's vocal stance against the administration gained momentum as he rallied alongside political figures such as Sarah Palin. Wow. Where has she been? I haven't heard her name in the news for quite a long time. Anyway, it was an event called Take Our Border Back in Dripping Springs, Texas. As the drip, drip sound in Dripping Springs, probably the migrants going across the Rio Grande or whatever. I'm just kind of winging it there. I don't know. The nationwide convoy gathered attention for its focus on illegal border crossings and the push for increased voter registration leading up to the next presidential election. Now, the country does care about this issue. It's not just Uncle Ted. Uncle Ted weeps for America, because even Democrats, the people who he called communists here, a lot of them are concerned. Like the mayor of New York City is a little bit concerned about the number of migrants being sent to his city. But, you know, Uncle Ted doesn't hold back. He uses the term scum snake. He also says this devil. He's the commander in chief of the United States. Now, I don't know if this is the kind of rhetoric that will bring people together. All right. I'm trying to be fair here. I'm not saying I agree with the current president's policies, because I do not. There's no way. I mean, before he took office, there were some things, and they were measurable things that you could look at, tangible things like interest rates, gas prices, the number of migrants crossing. We hadn't solved the problem up until that point. We had made it somewhat better, but under Joe Biden, things have gotten much worse. And, you know, if we're not going to address this problem, if it takes like, I don't want to say an aging rock star, which, you know, Uncle Ted is in his 70s, and he's the only rock star I can think of who is this outspoken about these issues. And maybe he's a little rough around the edges. Maybe he gets a little fired up about things. And maybe he does it because, you know, there's a constituency there for Ted who agree with him and who kind of celebrate the way he talks about things. I'm at the point where I think we need to tone down the rhetoric all over the place. And start working on the problem. Just saying, yes, we have this problem. Don't call the other guy a devil. Okay, don't call him a scum. He may have some of those qualities and characteristics, but here's the deal. You're not going to bridge this divide between the people who are on either side, the tribal ends of the political spectrum, will continue to be more polarized as time goes on, and nothing will get done because if somebody proposes something and they're on the wrong team and that would solve the problem, the opposing team will just say, no, we don't want the problem solved because they're going to get the credit and we're not. And that's just politics. And it's bad. It's bad for America. People should work together to fix the problem. So reactions to the rally itself varied on social media as other rockers, including Tracy Guns, criticized the movement's motives. So what are the motives? Is this just a money-making scheme? I mean, Tracy Guns, with a name like Tracy Guns, you would think that he would probably be on board with protecting the southern border. But, you know, Guns is just a cool name to have if you're in a heavy metal band, right? From the 1980s. By the way, one of Eddie Trunk's favorite bands to still talk about is LA Guns. Whereas, I like to talk about new material like this. This is Torben Enevoldsen. This is his first album. This is a great guitar rock album. And then his second album called Transition, this one as well. They're kind of like bookends. You could pop them in if you have one of those CD players that played more than one disc at a time, which I know those things are probably at Goodwill at this stage, but this is some good music here, definitely. If you like good guitars, and it's very listenable, and you don't have to memorize any lyrics, all right? In this day and age, especially with people who are getting a little older and are a little bit more forgetful about what they're going to say next, then it's great music to listen to. So anyway, folks, thanks for watching. I don't know, is Uncle Ted right? Is he wrong? You can leave some comments over on Patreon if you're a patron of this channel. Also, YouTube memberships and the Buy Me a Coffee function, which I believe you can send along your comments there as well. This channel is in some difficult financial territory right now, trying to keep the operation going, trying to think of good topics. If you've got a topic, again, if you're a patron and you think the audience would be interested, then send me your suggestion and I will definitely consider it. In the meantime, folks, the Prince of Peace, he's the one who has the answers, not the Prince of War, the Prince of Peace. God bless everyone out there, and stay safe, and don't go to CVS if you can avoid that place, and pray for peace around the world, and also especially in the Middle East, and I will see you soon.